dealt with enough of these narcissistic, heartless bitches to know what half the shit is. I don't even need to be there. And the after's finished when you get the smear campaign and you hear how bad some dudes were, and it's weird in only just like one way that they even stayed in it, and that they negate to even relay the part that they played in it, like everything just happened and they was there and he did it but they didn't, and that's the way it's meant to go. But I like to not play witness to shit that I never seen and have to be a biased judge of and only hear one side of and processed all of that shit with the limbic and emotional thoughts, so that when I see I'm a fly monkey for the talk, be your stooge of course, but fuck that, I ain't a fool no more. There's rules to this, and that's not the type of judgment that they used in law. That would be a biased judge. You have to read all of both sides to apply a judgment. Amend means with the acuteness and keenness of your intellect to make useful. That's the thing when I'm discerning. My discernment, this is to take apart. Cern from surname means to sieve and sift through for what's useful. Meant means with the acuteness and keenness of intellect. Putting this shit together, I would have been in bed with a little less than just a science, because science means rigorous measures for knowing a fucking thing. So I'm applying this rigorous measures and basically identifying the fact that I am not buying it. And once you get this, you don't incline with it, and they think that you know who they are and they don't want to reside with it. You just destabilized and debolstered their homeostasis, and they're probably trying to apparently condition you to do something different too, and by this they put you inside of a different view, and they even pass the information to the other bitches you might come in contact with. How do you like that shit? That shows me what your relationship's verbal combat is. That's what the content is. I ain't one of those common pricks on that commonness. You ain't a fucking weak, feeble bitch. You're an evil bitch. You know all of the secrets. You negate better than people. You're intelligent and play to be lesser, so niggas that ain't equal won't know what the truth is. But that's the crux, like the cerebri or the desiccation of the tegmental. So the tegmental desiccation, that's the type of education that stays inside of my brain stem while you're oscillating some of these beta waves and trying to get my biopsychology to be swayed through my male protector instinct, because that's what all boys think with. It's what protects our mums, what protects our sisters, what protects us from feeling like we're part of what the problem is. That shit's obvious. That's the reason R. Kelly's being sued. A lot of shit like that is happening to Mike Tyson too. That's the shit that's enticing you. You can't fight that shit. That's like the flu. So I've had enough of this infatuation, consolidation, and constipation with narcissistic, heartless bitches to know what half this shit is without even being there. But guys, see, they're the ones that will really care. They're the ones that will change their behavior in a way to accommodate you and make you feel better in a future situation. Going through the phases, they probably start externalization, which is a bit like a narcissistic, but in some ways it's partly empathic. And I guess the shit is that when they're putting together information, the limbic and the hippocampal arc and the hippocampal gyrus for where the memories are formed and emotions are stored, and it forms a rapport when they're trying to organize what their Wenrix understands from what the signs of your communicativeness is relating to their broca's area and the frontal lobe from the parietal. So they start explaining all types of shit in a way which their bitch can actually start reciprocating like it's limerence inside of the situation. So they guess that by explaining they can change the toxic power structure, but instead what she does is engages, listens for a little bit, works out the direction of your cadence and where you're going with it. And the fact is she's smarter than you, so she already knows this shit. While remaining engaged, she starts to play dumb. Now when she's playing this game, you think this bitch has got a master's, a bachelor's degree and a PhD, and she can't understand the proper discussion or structure. It's kind of funny. I wonder how that even came to be a function. But his incentive bias and the fact that he's focalized by this is the reason that he starts explaining the shit that you already know and starts drifting away in one of the negations, which means not a gateway to get back to you in any way. So it's plausibly deniable, even though it's barely plausible, it's still falsifiable, and he can't prove it. And if he gets pissed off with you next, use the damsel in distress, deuces, whereby you act like you're upset inside the caduceus. The other serpent comes to nurture you and starts working against his own purpose. It's a reverberating circuit like the DNA helix. And once he feeds in, that's when your narcissistic rage is complete. You triangulate him and make him a fly monkey against his own aim. That's so unique. You're so smart and intelligent. But I never fall for this shit whenever it happens. What's really happening is what happened to Pavlov's dogs in Pavlovian O-parent conditioning. You just been conditioned like a dog, apparently, to stay away from that behavior. Eventually, one day you'll get it, because the fact is she already gets it and doesn't want tacit culpability for amending her behavior in a way which will make you more comfortable. And you presume that she does because you've done it for her 100 or more times already. Right? That's why your thoughts are steady. You think it's give and take, but it's take, and make you think that she'd give. Until it's time to give, then not understanding needed to be explained to, while she take two. It's just a replayed move, and she even explains to the girl inside of her insane crew that do all types of shit that's way more debauched and immoral than this. What the joke is, and how you were so focused, and how you don't get it. And they want equal rights. Those are double standards. You need to see the light. You don't want to be my type. If you was in with me and I knew you were a narcissist, you would never be alright. I'd fuck you in the arse. Promise you all of my heart, and to get married so you can have narcissistic supply for the rest of your life, and say I love the way that you talk to me and all the problems that you described, and disappear in the middle of the night then without a trace and not leave anything of me behind. So wait, when people ask, it's not like you can say you're worried. You took everything and disappeared in a dash without a hurry, and you didn't get time to replace the narcissistic supply. Look, I understand bitches, and this is why I ain't quick to jump inside. I tell you what the truth is. They love the children that stretch their uterus and their vagina when they come out more than they love themselves. Other than that, it's not you. If you're inside of a marriage, it's still not you. If you are the one that took their virginity, then it is for the rest of infinity. They'll love you, even if it's with just 1/7 of the love that they have for their child. They will love you forever. Look, I know shit that you couldn't understand. You couldn't understand it unless you drive fast and had a kundalini and sensorially experienced it. Look, this shit is serious. This you can't understand. I'll explain it. I'll explain it one day. I don't know.